Hi there, welcome to my channel. I'm Ghost Prime. I'm going to take a look at Studio Series 86 Core Class Wheelie. Wheelie first appeared in Transformers the movie in 1986.
Friend, fine, look behind. You go wrong way, you fool, I say.
He is a little tiny bot that rhymes whenever he speaks. It does get kind of annoying, but that was his character trait. And he has been in subsequent seasons after the movie, even onto the Japanese series. He has been shown in comic books and even Kiss players. But now they made a figure of him in the Studio Series line, and he is the most accurate to that cartoon appearance. And it's much better than the last time he showed up in the Studio Series line. So please hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't, and without any further ado, let's get to the review. All right, here is Wheelie in his box. He has some nice box art up here. So it says Studio Series there. Transformers the movie on top. The window with his, you could reach in and get the whole bot out of there. Transformers the movie. Autobot Wheelie. There's the box art. The nice, I guess, rendered image, the painted image on the side. There he is in both modes. And a close-up of his head with the core class. So let's just get this guy opened up and check him out. All right, getting him opened up and out of the package, he comes with a little tiny slingshot, which is actually nicely detailed. It's kind of cool that he comes with that. Of course, the figure, set of instructions. That seem to be fairly clear. He's really relatively easy to transform. The one thing I do want to mention about the slingshot here is that it is kind of hidden. So here's this little backdrop, and it is actually packaged, you can kind of see where it's bent, upside down like this. And I assume it's upside down so it's harder to pull out from the top if you could stick your fingers in it. But don't throw this away because it does kind of blend in with the background there. Just make sure if you do get this, just to pull that out and then dispose of the packaging or do whatever you do with them. But he can hold his slingshot in either hand. And yeah, he has his little slingshot, just like you expect he would. Taking a close look at the figure, he is quite detailed. His head has nice silver and three colors of paint on it. The blue for the eyes, silver face, and the gray for around the head there. Looks relatively nice. I'm not sure if this is painted or cast in that plastic, but it's a good head sculpt. Moving down, you can see the Autobot logo there. His hands are painted. Kneecaps, shins, and feet are all painted. Now mine does actually have a bit of a paint issue. And you could see it, I forget which leg it was. I could show you in more in alt mode. It's a little bit of underspray on it. Turning him around, he has a blue paint right there for the window. And that's about it as far as the paint is concerned. But he looks pretty good as Wheelie. Like, he looks like the character. He looks really, really, really well. It's a really well done version of Wheelie for sure. It's much better than the absolute craptastic one we got very recently with Grimlock. This is garbage. They're lucky I still have this one. This one, it's pretty bad. So I'm glad to actually get an update to this one. So before we get into the rest of the comparisons, let's do a little bit of articulation. So because of transformation, his head is on a hinge and a ball joint. He has ball joints throughout, and his joints are pretty nice and tight. But he can look up, he can look all the way around. Nothing really side to side because it's really flat on the bottom of the head. His shoulder can move out this far and up this way if you take it from the transformation joint, so he's got a good range there. He can move his elbow 90 degrees, kind of bicep swivel. It's more of an elbow swivel. Nothing at the hands, nothing at the waist. Kick really far. It could go kind of back. You can move this out of the way. Oh, move that out of the way a little bit, and you can get a little bit of back action there. And then 90 at the knee. He doesn't have a thigh swivel, but he does have a knee swivel. So you get that, and then the toes could be pointy or not pointy. No A stance, no rocker on there. which makes sense. I mean, it's a core class figure, right? So you're not going to get a lot of articulation, but overall, I think he looks really good. I mean, he looks pretty close to that cartoon model that we had in '86. Definitely looks decent. And he definitely looks better than the Generation 1 version of Wheelie here. So I get him even to stand up. Wheelie. Yeah, he definitely looks better than this one here. For sure. And to see how he stacks up to the Titan Return one. He's a little shorter. I think the scale works. As a character model, this one is definitely more on point than the Titan's Returns. All right, moving on to transformation for this little guy. Let's just go ahead and remove his slingshot there. And what we're going to first do is take the back kind of panel, open that up, move the head all the way around and in, and then close that back up. Take the front piece, kind of as you saw me do, I want to show an articulation. Just move that up and around like so. And then gonna go ahead and take his legs, point his feet. Then you want to take his knees and put that all the way out like so. You get them out on the outside. And then there's a hinge here. So you want to move that, get that in focus. Hinge that up. And then there's also a hinge, like a joint there. So his legs are going to actually come in on these joints here, right? So you're going to have to put both his legs like that. So they go behind this piece. But first, there's tabs and slots. So just tab and slot those in. But you're going to want to, like, in order to do that, you really need to push them together. So push the thighs in together. Push the legs together. And then just slide that all in. Then you have the arms. That way the arms, oops, hang on. You have the arms around like this. And then fold them back. So you have the arm, just fold them up, and then there is slots there and tabs there. So you want to just tab that in. Press it together. Mine doesn't hold super well, but I could get them in there. So, and then for the slingshot, there's actually, you might have seen a little hole right there. You can just tab that in. Tap that into the back. And there he is in car mode. In car mode, he rolls relatively well. The front, I really wish they could have gotten a little better, a little more clean. I guess they couldn't have. Now, you can see here, because these are two slightly different colors, mine has a paint issue, paint underspray issue. And it might be just mine, so your results may vary on that. But overall, I think he does a pretty good job at being the car, at the exception of the hands sticking out the back, which really annoys me. Them being silver makes it worse, right? It really does. And first up for comparison, there he is with the Generation 1. There he is next to the Titan Returns. I've always liked the Titan Returns one. I think the car mode on Titan Returns is really awesome. But he is much smaller, as you could tell. So he is just a little guy, as he should be. So let's get to some final thoughts. So this little guy gets a strong recommend from me. Absolutely adore him. I could deal with the fact that the car mode doesn't look exactly perfect with the wonky front end and the hand sticking out the back. His robot mode really looks good and looks good next to Grimlock and the other Dinobots, or even on a Studio Series shelf for Transformers the movie. So definitely recommend him. So pick him up if you see him. And I just want to say thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next review.